Back at you.
I'll start with a question about Edgar, because one of my favorite things about this movie is it feels like a faithful adaptation of a novel that I love, but it also feels like an Edgar Wright movie through and through. Can you tell me something you saw him do on this set that maybe speaks to the kind of singularity we see in his work, something he does to ensure every movie he makes is an Edgar Wright movie to its core?
The reason I did this movie was because of Edgar Wright. And let me say this, that he called and pitched the character or the story to me before I'd read the script. And his pitch, the script, and the movie that I saw last Friday are exactly the same. He is like technically masterful. He understands the tone of what he's trying to make perfectly and can communicate it to everyone, which is the hardest thing to do on a set full of, independent contractors, people who are coming around to work together for a few months to make something. So watching him put together those great big thrilling, set pieces that take 2 weeks to shoot, incredible. Like really, you not only felt the comfort of like, oh, I'm in the hands of a really masterful director, but this is fun,
Ooh.
This is a good time.
The fun leans into something else that I had written down from our press notes. I believe Chung-Hoon Chung, your cinematographer, said this. He was talking about working with Edgar, and he said that when I work with him, I feel as if I go back to my very first film set in my life when I was full of passion, nervousness, and excitement. So I was wondering if you had a moment like that, something you filmed that brought you back to those early days and kind of like filled you up creatively like that.
Yeah. There's like something that happens in the finale of the movie that it was just like a really great scene, like a really stakes are high. Edgar Wright's directing. I'm opposite Glen Powell. The scene is like violent, and there's a lot on the table, and I get chills thinking about it because it's like you wish there were more common in your career as an actor, but you get one where you feel like, man, this is like you're doing it. It's like it's up against it, and they're catching it, and it's thrilling, fun.
What I would give to be able to go into the details on that scene, but I feel like you're describing it and how it electrified. Like there's like a classic feel to it that I feel like we don't get from like big third act set pieces as much anymore.
It's a scene, it's like a scene, and you don't know how it's gonna play out, like you don't know quite how it's gonna end.
Truly, even as someone who knows the source material, I didn't quite know how this movie would end, and I like the fact that it keeps me on my toes. I want to talk about the whole look of McCone. I love hearing about how things on a film evolve, so can you maybe paint a picture of what the whole costume looked like on your first fitting, and then what it became in the finished film that everyone's going to watch?
When Edgar first pitched the movie to me, he was like, well, I'm thinking that your character might have a mask. And I'm like, wait, what? He says, I think you're going to be, completely covered in a mask. And I was like, yeah, I'm game. Like, that sounds like fun. Let's do that. But developing what the mask is going to look like was, very, very interesting because it's a piece of costume that completely covers your face. And you think as an actor, well, am I going to be able to do my job with this? Yeah. It's like it makes your performance more physical. And with Julian, our costume designer, we worked on different masks, different way the stitching goes, the nose, like when we developed the nose on the mask. It sounds like a small, goofy thing, but it really brought the mask to life in a way.
The detail is so important like that.
Yeah.
What are you able to, or what do you need to do physically as an actor when you're playing a character who is in a mask versus any other, maybe a more traditional kind of character?
Well, McCone is a killer, and I think he's the real deal, but he's also a showman, right? Like he's giving superhero, right? He's trying to he's trying to be like, here in America, there are good guys and there are bad guys, and the running men are the bad guys, but you've got a good guy
He's
like
giving
McCone.
superhero, whereas Ben Richards is not. And in reality, it's the opposite.
It's a movie.
I love it. I love it. The other thing I was curious about, I don't know if you think about this kind of backstory, but, you know, McCone is so singular with his mission. He's out there to do a very particular kind of job. But I was wondering, what does he do when he's not taping The Running Man? What is his, like, night alone like? How does he indulge and treat himself after a hard day of work?
You know, McCone has a very, very difficult job. So which is one of the reasons he needs to have the mask off, because, you know, he needs some time to himself. He needs time to walk his dog, get brunch with his friends.
McCone is a dog?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got a dog. He's a dog person, obviously.
Yeah, I
know?
would assume that.
Yeah. So, you know, he needs to relax. He needs to watch his favorite show. He's a big fan of the Americanos.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So he's just a normal guy. He's just like a relaxed person, you know? High pressure job.
And then the exact
Gotta find
opposite
his
at home
zen.
with his dog.
Yeah.
In his reality show. I love it. I love it. I have to ask you a little bit about Glenn, because one of my favorite things in recent years is not just watching him soar as the star of movies, but also as a leader in this industry and the productions that he's on. So what is something about working with him, not just as a scene partner, but as a leader on this set that might make you think, I look forward to more actors getting to experience in the future?
I mean, he is absolutely a leader on the set. The tone he sets, the work ethic he brings to it, the atmosphere of this is a movie and let's have a good time making this. You know, it's hard work, it's interesting work, but that doesn't mean it has to be, you know.
I get that.
You know what I mean? It's like
making movies is hard. It should be that mentality.
It's hard, but we should have a good time doing it. We're lucky to be a part of this industry. We're lucky to be to have the to entertain people.
Absolutely.
You know? And I think Glenn very much understands that, and it's just a pleasure working with him on this movie.
I always feel lucky to get to sit in these rooms, so I always ask my Collider colleagues when I'm lucky enough to talk to someone, what do they want to hear from that person? And everyone on the staff zeroed in on a specific something. They want to hear about Foundation. And I'm trying to combine everybody's question into one now. So I'll ask you, what was your very first reaction to reading how season 3 was going to end? And is there anything you can tease about the next season?
Well, we're just working out the next season right now. Of course, we want to top the 3rd season because that's what Isaac Asimov did in those books. He kind of managed to like ratchet it up. But I was shocked that this season ended the way it did. Shocked that they did that to Demerzel. You know, shocked that they, you know, the dynasty is done. It's all meat now. So I think it's interesting to see where the story will go. I'm very excited about what my character is going to do next season.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I like hearing, and you're also getting your first producing credit?
Yeah.
That's a big deal. Congratulations on that.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm very, it's such a great group of people to work with, and I really love the character. I love the show. I love sci-fi. So it's really nice to be a part of the conversations at this point of making the 4th season.
People love it too. Hearing the conversation get louder and louder with that show has really been something else. I'm going to say huge congratulations on that. And of course, The Running Man. Job very well done.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Wow.